Hey guys, welcome to Channel 2S, your home for Gunpla reviews, news, and more. I'm your host, Second Soundwave. And last time we saw our little friend the Atlas Gundam, he didn't have an arm, but now he does. What voodoo magic is this? Well, actually there was no magic involved. I did a little bit of an impromptu live stream late last night, and the audio and video quality was so freaking terrible that I abandoned the stream pretty early on, and I didn't even bother re-uploading the finished stream, because, let's face it, it was pretty garbage. That's why I didn't even bother to finish building the arm on stream. Most of this I actually built just 5 or 10 minutes ago. So tonight we will be building the other arm of the Atlas Gundam and also his legs. But first, it's time for some Gunpla news. And we're starting the news off tonight with the high-grade Gundam Thunderbolt Gundam Ground Type S. Now this is some very grainy box art. This is an early image of the box, so you can't make out a lot of details here, unfortunately. It's a bit of a crappy image. However, we can still get a general idea of the artwork. It's looking very cool in true Gundam Thunderbolt fashion. And we have some new images of the kit itself to go with it, and it's looking pretty darn cool. Of course, the Ground Gundam still has that very awesome looking beam javelin. I love that effect part that this guy comes with. It's probably the most eye-catching part of the whole model. In this next image of the Gundam Ground Type S, we can see its full weapon and accessory loadout. And the first thing that I noticed about this is that even though he's been shown up to this point with only one shield, he actually comes with two. Now I personally think the design looks a little too cluttered once you put a second shield on it, but it is nice to have the option of adding a second shield if you want to make him fit in more with the original Thunderbolt GM. Now moving onwards and upwards to the Master Grade, we have magazine scans of the Justice Gundam. Now these are somewhat similar pictures to those we've already seen, but there are some pieces of new information here. For example, we can see the cockpit of the Justice Gundam is open down here at the bottom. Also next to the cockpit we can see the standing figurine of Athrun Zala himself. Now on the next page of magazine scans for the Justice Gundam, there really isn't much of anything new. However, I am noticing that whenever they show this kit in the air, they seem to be using an action base, which does bother me slightly since they generally don't pack action bases with their Master Grade models with only a few exceptions. Most of the time they'll use that sort of single static stand that they used for kits like the Wing Proto Zero and the Freedom 2.0. And this has me just a little bit worried because it's making me think they might not include a stand with this figure. And if you're at all familiar with the Justice Gundam, you know that this guy really needs a freaking stand. Because without a stand, he cannot stand. Now usually Bandai is pretty good with giving their kits stands if they need them, so hopefully this guy will get the support he requires. Following up on the heels of the Justice Gundam, we have more magazine scans of the high-grade Universal Century Gundam Tristan, and yeah, it still looks like crap. There's really nothing to say here, except that on this next page we can see that he does kind of have an opening cockpit of sorts. There's this piece on the front of the chest that you can pull off, and you can see some detail underneath. I'm guessing this is supposed to be one of those kind of cockpit orbs like the Sazabi has. Now that is a very interesting detail to see, especially on a high grade. However, I don't think it quite makes up for the fact that they're retooling the freaking Gundam Alex to make this. I mean, come on guys. It's 2017. Use something newer or make a new mold. Please. And that concludes tonight's Gunpla news. However, you should stick around because in just a moment we're going to start the arm build of the high grade Atlas Gundam. Okay, we are back. So, to start building the arms, we're going to take this piece right here and this piece and just push the white piece up into the black part until it's high enough in there that we can just push it back down like this. And then we're going to take this piece right here and slide this into the side here and then grab this piece, which is like a little kind of piece that probably should be a polycap but isn't a polycap because we're building the Atlas Gundam and the Atlas Gundam thinks he's too cool for polycaps. We'll have to see how that turns out for him once the review comes out. So next we're going to start work on the elbow assembly, so that requires putting a piece on this side and then putting another piece on this side. This is probably a very familiar elbow assembly to most of you, as this is how pretty much every high grade's elbows go together. And as I put this cap piece on, you will notice that there are stickers on these two sections right here and also on the other side. And these are very simple stickers. They don't look particularly attractive, but they're basically just supposed to be little yellow lines around the edges of the joints. And to attach this elbow section to the rest of the arm, you slide this piece down over it, and yes, there is another yellow sticker on this that wraps all the way around. And then you take the shoulder and you just push it down all over that whole thing, and it clips in place. It's not a polycap, but it is still surprisingly tight. Now that we have the upper part of the arms assembled, it's time to get to work on the lower arms. So, we're going to start the lower arm build by taking this white piece and this little yellow piece right here and sliding them together just like this. And then we're going to take another little white panel right here, and this is going to go here and just pushes on like that. And then we take the arm once again and stick it down into there. Now we're going to build a hand to go on that arm, and of course that is very simple. It's just a matter of pushing two pieces of a hand together and then taking his hand back, pressing it on the back. It's a very simple build. It's just like almost any other high grade you've ever built. Now there is some nice detailing on the back of the hand right here. If I can show it off properly, it almost lines up with the backs of the fingers, but not quite. And this hand just plugs very simply into the arm, and it has a very tight click. However, once you start rotating around, you find that it's actually not in there that securely, and despite the tight click to put it in, once you get it in there, it's actually kind of loose unless you have it in this one specific position. And now it's just a matter of putting the arm onto the torso. And here we have the completed upper body of the Atlas Gundam. Now to build the legs. So when building the legs, we're going to start down at the bottom with the feet, and the build for the feet is very simple. It starts with these two pieces, which go together like this. And then it continues with two more pieces, which go together just like this. And then these two pieces are put together just like this. And then one more piece is plugged onto the back, just like that. And that actually gives this guy a surprising amount of toe articulation. He also has what will probably be a pretty impressive ankle tilt thanks to the way that this foot is constructed. But now it's time to move up the leg. So to start the leg itself, we're going to take these two pieces right here and connect them together just like this. And then we're going to attach this piece on here just like this. The whole assembly gets capped off with another piece, and again there are little yellow stickers on both sides of this section. These two pieces are then put together just like this. Now you bring that piece back and grab this white armor section, and then this piece kind of just drops down into here. This gray section then comes in here behind it, and then this little white part right here plugs over all that and closes off the bottom half of the leg. Now next you're going to take this yellow section right here, put a gray sticker around the top of it, and attach it to the leg just like this. Then take another piece, do the same thing with the sticker, and put it on the other side so that they clip together around the front just like that. Now you're going to come back with some little armor pieces and plug them over the sides just like this. And I do like the way these are shaped because it means that you actually get a little bit of Master Grade style color separation with the way these pieces go together. I'm going to see if I can get a better shot of this, but as you can see it makes it look like the insides of the vents are yellow, which is a very nice little touch, and I was surprised to see that on this kit considering how hit or miss the color separation was in some areas. So you're going to do something similar with the knee itself. We're just going to take this piece and plug it over just like that. So now we're going to make a hip joint by taking this piece and plugging a fake polycap in right here. Then we're going to take this section and plug it on top of that just like this. Now we're going to set that over here, grab this little gray piece, and then also this yellow piece right here, line the tabs up, push them in, and again this is a nice, very Master Grade-esque level of color separation we have here, where the yellow piece goes under the white and it gives it a nice yellow border. So now we have all the components for the leg. All we have to do now is put these all together. So starting at the top, we're going to take this piece and this piece, and what it looks like is these go together like this. Nope, they go like this, and then this plugs in up here like this, I think. Is it like this? Yeah, because the knee bends that way. So these are together now, and then this gets plugged in just like this right here. And now this gets plugged in down here. And for a leg that's built without any polycaps, I have to say, this is pretty impressive. He has a nice knee bend. He has a universal joint at the hip. Nothing seems too loose here so far. I'm testing the ankle right now. This is feeling a little weak, but not too bad. I'm a little worried about the toes. They are a bit loose. I could see this guy having a similar problem to Master Grade Exia, where if you have the weight too far forward, he kind of falls forward from his toe joint. Hopefully that won't happen, but for the most part, I'm liking this guy's feet, and just like I suspected, he has a pretty nice bit of ankle tilt. And because there are no side skirts on this model, it's actually very simple to attach the legs. You don't even need to push anything out of the way. You just push this down to here, just like that. And here we are, guys. The body of the high-grade Gundam Thunderbolt Atlas Gundam is complete. Tomorrow we're going to start work on the weapons and subarms, but for now, we are done. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new to Channel 2S, be sure to subscribe for more awesome Gunpla content. And as always, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time.